Lindsey Pollak, board chairwoman of She's the First. I'm really honored to be your MC tonight, introducing you during a very brief program to the amazing staff, board of directors, supporters, and students who are all part of our She's the First family, of which you will all be part of after tonight. It's an organization that was started by our founder, Tammy Tibbetts, and our director of international operations, Kristen Brandt, way back in 2009, and it started with a single YouTube video. So thank you first and foremost. Please join me in thanking our very generous sponsor, Chase Community Giving. Thank you. For those of you who are meeting She's the First for the first time tonight, I promise that you will leave this event feeling inspired about our organization and about the future of girls in our world. And I'd like to start by introducing you to my fellow board members, the Board of Directors 2013 of She's the First. Kristen Brandt, our Director of International Operations. I feel like I'm at the Academy Awards. Sloan Davidson, our returning board member from 2012. Sloan. Thank you, Sloan. Nicole Golden, all the way in town from Washington, D.C. Thank you, Nicole. Tom Kearns, my fearless vice chair of the board. Tom. Rachel Sklar, who had to leave for an event tonight on her crutches, so she made a valiant effort to be here in the cold weather. Carrie Summer, a board member and very good friend. Tammy Tibbetts, our president and founder. You'll hear from Tammy in a moment. Treasurer Ezene Kaburi, and our secretary, Stephanie Guzman. I just want to personally thank everyone for your hard work and dedication this year so far. I know it's only February, we have a long time to go, but we're really making good strides. We're also joined tonight by a very special guest, Toby Daniels, who's the founder of Social Media Week, of which tonight's event is a part. He's got a really full calendar and he's made time to be with us. We're really pleased to introduce you to Toby Daniels.
Yes, I have a full schedule. Yes, it's a pretty hectic week for me, but honestly, events like this is the reason why I started Social Media Week in the first place. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of sort of potted history, talk about a little bit about what we're doing this year, to provide some sort of context for why these events are so important and why we're so excited to support them in the way that we do. So I started Social Media Week back in 2009 here in New York City. It was just off the back of the presidential election. We'd seen for the first time the power of social media in terms of how it can enable a grassroots effort to actually elect a president for the first time. And I wanted to create a platform to bring people together, not just around emerging trends in social media, but also to look at how technology is impacting our lives around the world, how it's changing society, how it's changing cultures. And so we started in New York. It was kind of a bit scrappy in the first year, but since then we've worked really hard to continue to build Social Media Week as a community and to continue to try and bring people together around what is essentially one of the most important and most fundamental changes that's happening in society at the moment. Since then, we've grown to approximately 30 different cities around the world. We host Social Media Week both in February and in September. This week, we're actually hosting the conference simultaneously in 10 different cities around the world, with, of course, New York being the flagship city. And it's, in fact, the 5th time we've hosted here in New York. Just to give you a little bit of background, last year, in 2012, we hosted 2,500 events in 26 different cities with 65,000 people physically coming together and convening to connect around emerging trends in social. And we also had close to 500,000 people also connecting online and through social and mobile. And this just like shows you what's happening, I think, in terms of this incredible shift, this change that's happening around the world. It's not just happening here in New York, it's happening everywhere. In fact, this week, we're actually hosting Social Media Week in Lagos in Nigeria for the first time. It's the first time we're hosting in the African continent, and I cannot tell you how exciting it's been to see that community come together in the same way the community comes together here in New York, because globally we all understand the power of technology, the power of communications in terms of how it brings us together. And so 5 years ago, in fact, I met Tammy for the first time. In fact, before I even started Social Media Week, when she was at Hearst, we connected and chatted, and I was sort of incredibly inspired by her amazing enthusiasm, which I'm sure has infected most of you here since you sort of come to know her as well. And then 2 years ago, Tammy and She's the First hosted their first event. And I'm not exaggerating, I'm not just saying this because I'm here tonight, but honestly I wish that every single one of our 600 or so event partners brought the same energy and the same passion and enthusiasm towards hosting events during Social Media Week that Tammy and the She's the First community does, because they just really like light up the entire atmosphere and the entire energy of Social Media Week. And for us, it's a privilege to support, it's a privilege to provide a platform for this incredible organization to connect and collaborate among its community, and hopefully we can sort of add a little bit of lighter fuel to what you're doing, and help to support this incredibly important idea that social media and technology is here to help us create social impact in the world. And so with that, I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you for inviting me to speak. And I guess it's my privilege to hand it over to Tammy, or back to you? Back to you, okay. So thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate the opportunity.
I have a few final announcements. As you heard, you'll be receiving an email from us tomorrow inviting you to join our community. There are letters and programs on the table telling you a little bit more about what we do. You can also visit our website, she'sthefirst.org, find some of our board members around the room tonight. I want to thank the Young Women's Leadership School for being here and joining us and starting our first New York City chapter. I have a special announcement that I just learned for those of you who are JP Morgan Chase employees. There's a matching gift program where your contributions up to $1,000 per year will be matched by the company for your charity of choice. Thank you, each and every one of you, for joining us tonight. Thank you to Tammy and Kristen for putting your heart and souls into this organization. Thank you to my fellow board members, and thank you once again to Chase Community Giving. My final announcement is that there are cookies for you with pictures of the girls, sponsored by Baking for Good, to take on the way out. So eat, drink, and be merry. Thank you all so very much. Good night.